back to the channel. Today we're going to unravel some incredibly complex events in Genoa. Rumors are circulating around the Newman family, but what's the truth? In this video, I'll summarize the plot points that will be revealed in the next episode. Stay tuned to see what happens.
Welcome back to our channel. Everyone, today is a beautifully sunny day, but things are incredibly dark and stormy in Genoa City right now. We are so glad you tuned in today to unpack all this absolute madness with us. Grab a massive cup of coffee and get comfortable, because you are going to need it for this one. So let's just dive right into the absolute wreckage of the Newman family because wow, just wow. Nikki Newman is finally recovering her vision, and honestly, the things she is seeing now that the bandages are off are way worse than anything she experienced in the dark. You guys know how much Nikki has been struggling lately. The MS flare-ups, the terrifying tumor diagnosis, the threat of permanent blindness. It has been a living nightmare for her. And through it all, Victor Newman has been hovering over her like this overbearing, controlling shadow. He played the doting husband, he played the protector. But Nikki has been feeling this deep, nagging sense of unease about his actions lately. And honestly, she was right to feel that way. Because Victor wasn't just protecting her, he was managing her. He was orchestrating her life, and the fallout from this is going to be biblical. And it all starts with a phone call. Nikki is just starting to adjust to her returning sight. Her vision is still a bit blurry, flickering in and out, but she is moving around the Newman ranch trying to get her bearings. And she happens to overhear Victor on the phone. But it's not just a normal business call. It's that hushed, secretive, gravelly tone that Victor uses when he's doing something highly illegal and deeply shady. Nikki stops dead in her tracks. She leans against the wall, listening, and she hears him talking about Patty Williams. Yes, that Patty Williams, the woman who stabbed Jack Abbott. The woman who has been terrorizing the Abbott family. Nikki hears enough to realize that Victor isn't just aware of Patty's actions. He is pulling the strings. He is the puppet master. And Nikki's blood just runs completely cold. But it doesn't stop there, because once the seed of doubt is planted, Nikki's mind starts racing. She starts remembering all these weird, disjointed details about her own health crisis. The timing of her stress, the way Victor isolated her. The way he seemed to use her vulnerability to keep her completely dependent on him. She starts wondering if Victor somehow manipulated the narrative around her illness to keep her under his thumb. Did he orchestrate the panic? Did he exaggerate the crisis just to maintain absolute control over her life? The sheer cruelty of that thought is staggering. But this is Victor Newman we are talking about. The man who once pretended to be a servant just to test Nikki when they first met. The man who has faked deaths, kidnapped people, and destroyed lives just to win a corporate boardroom fight. Is it really that hard to believe he would exploit his own wife's failing health? No, it is not. So Nikki decides she cannot just let this go. Her vision is getting clearer every single day, and she uses that restored sight to do some serious snooping. When Victor leaves the ranch, Nikki goes straight into his office. She is digging through files, hacking into his private server, looking for anything that connects the dots. And guys, she finds it. She finds the concrete evidence, the smoking gun. There is a paper trail, financial records, maybe even recorded audio files that prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Victor was the sole mastermind behind Patty Williams' reign of terror. He funded her. He manipulated her, and worse, Nikki finds evidence that Victor absolutely exploited her own medical crisis to keep her weak and compliant. He used her fear of going blind as a weapon to isolate her from her friends, especially Jack Abbott, and keep her locked inside the Newman ranch. I mean, just think about that for a second. Think about the level of sociopathic control it takes to watch your wife cry in terror over losing her sight. And use that as an opportunity to tighten your leash on her. It is sick. It is twisted. And Nikki is completely devastated. She is standing there in Victor's office, holding the proof in her trembling hands, and she just breaks down. She trusted him. She actually trusted him. She let him take care of her when she was at her absolute lowest, and he used that against her. The betrayal is so deep, so profound, that it literally takes her breath away. But then the sadness turns to anger, white-hot, burning rage. Nikki Newman is not some fragile little bird anymore. She is a survivor, and she is furious. When Victor finally comes home, the atmosphere in the ranch is so thick and toxic you could cut it with a knife. Nikki doesn't even wait for him to pour a drink. She just launches into him. She confronts him with the evidence. She screams at him for exploiting her vulnerability. She throws the documents right in his face. And you know exactly how Victor reacts. He gets defensive. He yells right back. He gives her the classic Victor Newman excuses. I did it to protect you, my baby. I did it to protect this family. He always says that. Every single time he does something monstrous, he hides behind the excuse of protecting the family. But Nikki isn't buying it this time. She tells him he didn't do it for the family. He did it for his own ego. He did it because he is a control freak who cannot stand the thought of anyone, especially his wife, having an independent thought or a relationship outside of his grasp. And honestly, maybe I'm being too harsh on Victor here. I mean, he has loved Nikki for decades. Their love story is legendary. Maybe in his own twisted, broken mind, he really did think he was keeping her safe by keeping her isolated. Okay, that sounded ridiculous even as I typed it, but you get what I mean? Sometimes I try to see Victor's side of things, but then he goes and does something so cartoonishly evil that I just have to throw my hands up. He paid a psychopath to torture Jack and then used his wife's blindness to control her. There is no defending that. None. So Nikki decides that this cannot be swept under the rug. She cannot just pack a bag, move into the Genoa City Athletic Club, and let Victor spin the narrative like they are just having a temporary marital spat. No, she wants to burn his entire world to the ground. She feels so deeply betrayed that she decides to expose everything. And she starts with the kids Nikki calls an emergency family meeting. She brings Victoria, Nick, and Adam together, and she lays it all out. She shows them the proof. She tells them exactly what their father has been doing. And the reactions are just explosive. Victoria is stunned, trying to process how her father could jeopardize the family business and his own marriage like this. Nick is absolutely furious, screaming about how Victor never changes and how he is a toxic poison to all of them. Even Adam, who is usually the first to dabble in the dark arts, is shocked by the sheer callousness of Victor exploiting Nikki's health. The family is completely fractured. The Newman children are staring at their father not as a patriarch, but as a monster. But telling the kids isn't enough for Nikki. Oh no, she wants Victor to feel the pain publicly. She wants the whole world to know what kind of man he really is, so Nikki does the unthinkable. She organizes an emergency press conference. The fans on social media are losing their minds over this, and honestly, so am I. Nikki Newman, the matriarch of the Newman Empire, standing in front of a sea of reporters and flashing cameras, ready to spill the darkest secrets of the most powerful man in town. It is iconic. She steps up to the podium, her vision clear, her posture straight, and she just drops the bomb. She tells the media everything. She exposes Victor's manipulation of Patty Williams. She reveals that Victor Newman, the great corporate titan, has been funding a known psychopath to terrorize innocent citizens of Genoa City. She talks about how he manipulated her own health crisis, exploiting her vulnerability to maintain control. The reporters are shouting questions. The camera flashes are blinding. And Victor is just watching it all happen, completely powerless to stop her. Nikki provides the concrete evidence to the press. She hands over the documents. She makes sure there is no way Victor can spin his way out of this one. The fallout is immediate and catastrophic. The scandal rocks Genoa City to its absolute core. Newman Enterprises takes a massive hit. Stock prices start tanking. Board members are panicking. Investors are pulling out. The reputation of the Newman Empire is dragged through the mud, and it is all because Victor couldn't control his own vindictive, paranoid impulses. He thought he was untouchable, but his own wife just handed him the biggest public defeat of his entire life. It is a PR nightmare of epic proportions, and frankly, it is exactly what he deserves. And then comes the final nail in the coffin. Nikki makes it publicly and privately clear that she is done. She demands a separation. She tells Victor that she is leaving him, and this time, it feels incredibly permanent. She packs her bags and walks out the door, leaving Victor standing alone in the massive, empty living room of the Newman ranch. He is left to face the consequences of his manipulative actions all by himself. He has lost his wife. He has alienated his children. His company is in a free fall. He has literally nothing left but his own pride and his empty house. What were they thinking, the writers? I mean, giving Nikki this kind of power is just incredible to watch. We are so used to seeing Nikki play the victim, or relapse into drinking when things get tough, or just quietly suffering while Victor runs roughshod over the town. But seeing her take her agency back, using her restored vision to literally and figuratively see the truth, and then using that truth to dismantle Victor's life, it is top-tier soap opera drama. It is the kind of messy, emotional, high-stakes storytelling that we have been begging for. And you just know Jack Abbott is going to be waiting in the wings. Jack has been suffering so much because of Patty and Victor's games. Now that Nikki has blown the lid off the whole thing, Jack is going to feel incredibly vindicated. And with Nikki officially separated from Victor and feeling so betrayed, it is almost guaranteed that she is going to lean on Jack for support. They have that deep connection, and Victor's absolute worst nightmare is seeing Nikki find comfort in Jack's arms. It is going to drive Victor completely insane. He is going to be sitting in his dark office, plotting revenge, but he has no leverage left. Nikki took it all. Honestly, my head is spinning from all of this. I have been typing so fast trying to get all these thoughts out before my deadline, and my fingers are actually cramping. But I just had to talk about this because it changes the entire landscape of the show. The Newman Empire is shaking. The Abbott family is going to want blood. And Nikki Newman is standing tall as the woman who finally brought the great Victor Newman to his knees. It is going to be a wild, bumpy ride over the next few weeks, and I cannot wait to see how Victor tries to claw his way back from this. Because you know he will try. He always does. But this time, I don't think Nikki is ever going to let him win.